It's going. So, the Human Torch and Spider-Man are one of the earliest Marvel friendships and most visible ones. So let's talk about Amazing Spider-Man number 16. Here's Spidey's cast here, and you've got Flash and Liz from high school.
Then you've got the Human Torch showing up to save the day, and Peter Parker feeling kind of sour grapes about how he gets all of this adulation and this public identity, whereas, of course, Peter keeps his identity a secret and still goes out to help everyone just as much. So, to add insult to injury, he thinks he's hanging around for an autograph. So, here you go. All right. So, how about a Spider Man fan club meeting? Torch has promised his squeeze that he's not going to use his powers, but here comes the Green Goblin. Okay. Isn't this fun? I love the way that these characters are rendered. There's a fluidity to their battles and postures and everything.
By the way, this is only the second appearance of the Green Goblin.
So, of course, the Human Torch tries to jump in anyway. He gets right in the way. And in the middle of all this, Peter overhears Liz's dad saying that May Parker is sick, so he rushes out on the fight. It's really cool watching the Torch and the Goblin go at it for a few pages. And meanwhile, Peter is rushing to change identities, and the Goblin takes advantage of this to escape. So, hang on to your hats. The most exciting part of the team up is yet to come, because now J. Jonah Jameson can call Spider-Man a coward, of course, and he finds out just a little bit later in the middle of giving a lecture, actually the start of giving a lecture, that our hero is not retired after all. And meanwhile, everyone's got a lot of doubts. The hero community seems to wonder if they really know this guy. They don't have the information. And he just seems like, why did he do this? It made everybody look bad and feel bad. So that's an encouraging take. The good news is that the wall crawler does get back into business as soon as he knows that May is okay. And he works together with the Human Torch, who gets kidnapped by the enforcers and the Sandman. I enjoy the way that Steve Ditko draws everybody, and it's very appealing to the childlike side of my imagination to watch these figures really cut loose. Hit him with a hammer, take it all. And one of the best bits is after the Torch and Spider-Man work together to get out of the webbing that they've run into. The Sandman gets picked up by the police. Go figure. Now let's put the other idea aside and get to the original adventures of Spider-Man and the Human Torch.
But whatever character you're working on, it's the one that you want to make a good story with, to think of a different way to look at them and maybe give them a little human angle. That's what we would do these days anyway, now that we know. Oh yeah, and the mystery villain referenced in Strange Tales is actually Reed Richards, and Reed Richards wears out Torchy's flame, and that's how Torch gets captured. So he appears here after Strange Tales 127. Strange Tales, he's stuck with a lot of lame villains, except for the occasional dust up with Namor, and even those are kind of silly, but in a really fun Silver Age way. 11-page stories have characters like the Trapster, who was Base Pot Pete at the time. Let's see, the Rabble Rouser. It's pretty bad. The Terrible Trio, some leftovers from the Fantastic Four, some old minions of Doctor Doom. And other than the dust up with Namor here and there, and the guest appearances by the Thing, there's not a lot to say about Strange Tales, unless you're a diehard Human Torch fan. These stories that I was telling you about appeared in Amazing Spider-Man 17, 18, and 19 back in the summer of 1965. And I really, really hope you enjoyed this. And we'll move on to something with a little more modern touch to it. We'll look at a revision of Spider-Man called Spider-Man 2099. And that's coming up in our next installment of Creating Marvels. I'm your host, Cecil Disharoon. Thank you so much for joining me. Peace, love, and chicken grease.